A single seedling, standing alone against the wind, has a simple objective: survival. But as soon as another player enters the field, that objective often gets clouded by a much louder urge: the need to prove who is at the top. Take this village field. On one side, we have the radish, built for hard physical work. On the other, the okra, who prefers to watch and wait. The radish measures his worth by what he sees in the mirror. He stands tall, convinced he is the most impressive vegetable in the village because of his bright white body and his crown of green leaves. The okra isn't impressed. He is entirely green, from his head to his toes, and he carries a quiet confidence that doesn't rely on being the loudest or the brightest in the field. Without a common problem to solve, these two spend their energy building a hierarchy based on nothing but pride. They turn differences in appearance into reasons to compete. Eventually, looking better isn't enough. The radish decides to move the goalposts, shifting the rivalry from a beauty contest to a test of raw physical power. To prove his point, he finds a heavy woven basket and heaves it into the air. For the radish, this is an easy way to signal his dominance to everyone watching. When the okra tries to match the feat, the result is a disaster. He is simply not built for this kind of load, and the basket crashes down, pinning him to the dirt. Even while stuck under the weight, the okra tries to save face. He laughs it off, claiming he only fell because he wanted to make friends with the soil. The radish might feel like the winner, but this victory is an illusion. While they are busy competing in a game they made up, a real crisis is beginning to form in the background. This schematic shows the farm's irrigation network. When a blockage forms in the main channel, water stops flowing to the crops. This is an existential threat. The radish reacts with muscle. He assumes his strength can push through any obstacle by applying force in one direction. He jumps into the blocked channel without looking at the depth of the mud or the nature of the clog. He expects the mud to yield to his strength. Instead, the mud swallows him. The more he struggles, the deeper he sinks, until the strongest worker in the field is completely immobilized. In a complex crisis, raw power can be a trap. Without a plan, the person trying to save the day often ends up becoming part of the problem. The okra arrives at the scene and finds his rival stuck. His first impulse is to stay on the sidelines and point out exactly why the radish's plan failed. But he quickly realizes that being right doesn't bring the water back. If the radish stays stuck and the channel stays blocked, everyone loses. The okra stops talking and looks for a solution. He finds a sturdy stick, using it to create leverage, a way to multiply force that the radish couldn't achieve with muscle alone. Using the stick as a tool, the okra pries his partner out of the thick mud, finally freeing him. A sharp mind is only useful when it moves from criticizing the failure to solving the problem. Intellect has to be applied to have value. With the radish back on solid ground, the dynamic in the field shifts. Both characters are forced to admit that their individual approaches weren't enough to handle the crisis. The radish sees that his strength is more effective when he listens to a better plan. He trades his pride for a result. The okra realizes that his observations are only meaningful when he uses them to help the person doing the heavy lifting. They stop working in silos. They combine the radish's raw physical power with the okra's tactical use of tools. This equation shows the two traits clicking together. When raw power is guided by strategic leverage, individual weaknesses become irrelevant, and the system recovers. Working as a unit, they clear the blockage. Water surges back into the channels, reaching every corner of the field. The rivalry is over. The radish and the okra move forward as partners, recognizing that their success is now linked. As the old saying in the village goes, when the work is shared, the radish is sweet and the okra is fun. Arrogance creates roadblocks that no one can clear alone. But when we drop our egos and cooperate, the path for our collective survival finally opens up.